Hi everyone, how are you all doing? Thank you for being here. My name is Natalie. I am a Western tropical astrologer and I use a whole sign house system for all my forecasts and reading. This video is talking about this upcoming week astrology forecast, and we'll be talking about April 20th to 26th. I know, as of I am uploading this video, it's already April 20th or 21st in earlier time zone. Feeling I'm chasing after time as I am having some really busy weeks. This past couple of weeks with my work and my consultation. So thank you for bearing with me, but let's dive in. This week we officially started Taurus season, but this Taurus season is not going to be the very typical grounding and easy, calm Taurus season that one might expect because of some of the aspect and transit that we are experiencing. But having the sun in Taurus, hopefully in the midst of some chaotic aspect and transit, is going to provide us some grounding as well. With that said, we should all have our grounding tools up in our sleeve to stay grounded, make sure that we are trying our best. I know we can only do our best, right? Do not expect you to be perfect because there's no such things. We are living in a very special time in human history right now, so just try your best to take care of yourself with the way you know how to. Try as much as possible to stay hydrated, nourish yourself, rest, prioritize rest whenever it's possible, and grounding. And with that said, let's talk about this week. I always find it also very useful to listen to it before the time to know what's coming ahead, but also to look back, to listen it again after the week passed, to see how those energy really manifest into different areas of your life. And you can really trace and see, oh yeah, I really did felt that. I felt that stronger than the other, and so on and so forth. So let's dive in. Monday, April 20th. We have Mercury conjuncting Saturn and Mars all together in the sign of Aries. Mercury will first conjunct Saturn and then Mars on the same day. So as of I am recording, I'm experiencing this aspect with you all. So let me know if you feel this way, if this energy really comes up for you. But having Mercury conjuncting Saturn and Mars can be a very tough day. Some of us might find ourselves having to have some really tough conversation, hard conversation, even find yourself in the midst of having conflict, argument, disagreement with people. There might be some miscommunication, so be careful when you pick your word, pick your own battle today, right? You might find yourself needing to have some kind of reality check, whether you are the one that is initiating the hard, tough conversation or decision, or you're on the receiving end, right? So depending on your own human story, right? So you might find yourself needing to make some real hard decision today, but also some of us might find ourselves needing to have a reality check, needing to adult, to take up some responsibility, or to really take action to make a decisive move. Maybe you have been trying to put off a certain conversation, situation, decision, but today this is the time that you really just make the move, do the damn thing. Some of us might find ourselves receiving a no, a rejection, someone turned down your proposal at work or so on and so forth, shut down your idea or so on and so forth. And it can feel very defeating, disappointing if you are on the receiving end. But know that sometimes this happen because universe have something that is more aligned with you that you can't see it at the moment just yet, right? Also take a look and see which house is ruled by Aries, because that is where the aspect is happening. So maybe the areas of life, the theme and topic of your Aries house will give you some more hint as to how this energy is taking place for you. And I just want to talk about the power of words for a second, because Mercury talks about words. Basically, it governs our thoughts, our communication, the way we express and exchange information. of course, it also relates to other things, right? Such as transportation, commerce, and so on and so forth. So today we might actually see some of those news popping up, news about some kind of transportation, exchanging might come onto the headline. And but coming back to the power of words, our words can be really powerful. So that's why with this aspect, I also want to talk about it just a little bit. When Mercury is paired up with Saturn, it's more concrete. There's a sense of seriousness. There's a consequence to the words that you're saying. It's like contract, right? It's like a promise, almost like a bond. So today you might feel like maybe you need to look at the fine print of a contract. You might be finalizing some contract with someone. You might be signing a paper, right? You might be making a promise, making a deal, right? There is some kind of actual consequence. There's a sense of not heaviness, but more like a responsibility, a bond, a promise is made, right? It's just like when you are casting a spell, when you're scripting your script for a ritual manifestation. There is power in it. There is a speakable but also there's a underlying magic within, right? And when it pairs up with Mars, there's a sense of action. There's a sense of volatility because Mars is the god of wars, right? So words can then become a weapon too. It can be something that cut through something, cut through a lie, reveal a truth, severing a promise, turn into an argument, turn into verbal abuse, hurt someone, right? Words can become a weapon to use against some people, right? Secrets. So this can be a very powerful day, or very it can manifest in many different ways to all of us, depending on our own human story, so to say. So but with that said, that is all the possibility. I would suggest to really practice discernment, right? Practice slowing down. You really think through it before you say it. Know that all words carry weight. So really need to choose them mindfully today, right? Trying to not to jump to conclusion or take impulsive action today, because all these energy are also in the sign of Aries, which sometimes can mean that we can be impulsive with it as well. April 23rd, we have Venus conjunct Uranus in the sign of Taurus at 29 degrees. This is the final, last time that this aspect will happen in our lifetime, because in our lifetime, because Uranus is an 84 years aspect, unless you are 0 years old right now and you will definitely live past 84. Then you might experience this transit again. But yeah, because Uranus will very soon goes into Gemini and will not come back to Taurus in our lifetime. So that is why this is quite bittersweet and monumental today to have this aspect, right? Venus conjuncting Uranus at the last degree, the 29 erratic degrees in Taurus. So there is a sense of urgency, agency. Is that crashing out moment. Is that last degree where it's pushing through that threshold. So your Taurus house might feel this impact today, might feel that there's a sense of, oh my God, it's all accumulating to something today. And Uranus has been in Taurus since 2018. This is kind of like that last hurrah to really close out your Uranus and Taurus transit for you. What is that house about? What the themes, topic, area of life is Taurus in your natal chart. Today, it might be a great time to reflect back on what changes and shift took place over the past 8 years with Uranus and Taurus. Venus talks about relationship, talks about our self-worth, self-value, what we believe and stand up for. Perhaps Uranus had make some changes, cause some chaos, revelations throughout the past 8 years. And in the sign of Taurus, this can be more about our values towards money, our relationship with money. It can be about our relationship with Gaia, with Mother Earth, I mean, climate change is a big thing, has been for the past few decades, especially I would say the past decade or two. So this transit might have brought up a lot of changes in how you see the world, how you connect with the land, and how you see all these problems that we are experiencing right now. And perhaps it might change some of the value, how you see different things in life and how you use them, how you see some maybe perhaps corporation, how they work, and it might shift some belief and pattern in your world as well. So this can be a moment of that. Maybe this is about relationship, right? Venus conjunct Uranus can be a moment of wanting something new, wanting to have some new experience, right? And there's quite a few possibilities. If you're in a relationship, maybe you want to do something radical and different today. Try out something new, right? Do something that reignite the spark or spark the fire even bigger. I don't know, maybe this is try out something new that you both haven't tried before. It can be trying out a new restaurant. I mean, it's Taurus, it's about our sensual embodiment experience. This can be try out an activity. Maybe you are going to a new restaurant, indulge a little bit today with this transit, right? With this aspect. This can be, for some, maybe this is you wanting something new in your relationship, right? This is maybe you meeting someone special today that really give you that spark as well. So this might be a lot of different possibility. For some, maybe this is unexpected money, coming in or out. We don't know, because energy can go both ways. With Uranus, it's a wild card energy, but these are all the possibilities. And later on that day, well, at least for later time zone, Venus will then enter Gemini after this monumental conjunction with Uranus in the last degree of Taurus. So Venus will enter Gemini April 23rd, 9:03 p.m. Pacific time, or earlier time zone, April 24th, 12:03 p.m. Hong Kong time. Venus in Gemini is a very different energy. It's the social butterfly energy. It's where you find yourself more sociable. You are filling up your calendar, your social calendar. You're finding yourself more chatty. Perhaps you are catching up with your friends, meeting new people, creating new friendship connection, going out more often, more social, just in general. You might find yourself, because Gemini talks about learning too, so you might join some workshop, pick up a new hobby, maybe sign up for a new course, who knows, right? Or maybe this is about you going out with a friend to join a workshop together. That can be one of the things that happen in this transit. Venus in Gemini is fun, it's lighthearted, it's playful, it's also flirty. So if you are single and ready to mingle, this is a transit to put yourself out there, to mingle with people, to connect with people. Maybe you are going to a speed dating event. It's very Venus in Gemini energy, because Gemini is that quick-witted air energy that is mutable, that is fast. So you're just bam, 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 like, and not to shade anyone with Venus in Gemini, but Venus in Gemini tend to be a little bit superficial. There's always the light and shadow attribute of all energy transit aspect. So Venus in Gemini can be superficial, can be surface level connection. You're not looking to deeply connect with someone, to be super vulnerable just yet. It's that initial, hi, how are you? My name is so-and-so. What do you do? What do I do? Just trying to get to know someone. So sometimes when people want to connect at a deeper level, they might not choose this transit to look for some really deep connection or relationship. It's more of, oh yeah, it's nice to know you. Let's see what happens, something really lighthearted and not super serious and like vulnerable just yet. But it might, right? But it's that initial, hey, what's up energy. So that is very Venus and Gemini. So that's why the shadow side, Venus in Gemini, tends to get a bad rap when it comes to, service level connection, very non-committal and just flirty and playful. But sometimes that's the energy you need to kickstart something, right? So it's not necessarily all bad. It's just that I guess if you are someone that is super serious, that you don't you are looking for something that is really deep, you might want to just be mindful and adjust your expectation and allow things to unfold naturally. Gemini is a mutable air sign, so it's very cerebral, it's up in the head, right? It's ruled by Mercury. So during this Venus in Gemini transit, you might also find yourself, you are not attracted by the look of the people, but more of the brain. You are looking at the brainy people, right? You are attracted by people that is maybe perhaps chatty, that can teach you something. Maybe in the educational field, you might find yourself wanting to connect more based on what kind of information that you can exchange and learn from each other, right? It's more of intellectual connection. You want to get stimulated with your mental thought, right? You love the mental stimulation, engaging conversation, but more of on the playful side. Maybe someone that you can engage some witty banter with, right? So this is what Venus in Gemini is about. On the 25th, we have the Sun in Taurus square Pluto in Aquarius at 5 degrees. Whenever Sun and Pluto come to an aspect, it always have this secret being revealed and brought into the light sort of energy. The sun is shining the light onto the underworld to uncover something today, to bring something up from the underworld to the surface today. So this can be definitely secret being revealed, information being dug up, maybe something hidden is being brought out to the open air. There might be some very interesting and big, loud headline. Sun also rules the leader in our world, right? It's the solar people, the people that's like up there and out there. So this can definitely talk about our world leader. And with what is happening in the world, I am not surprised anymore of what is coming out. So yeah, expect loud news or a secret being revealed today for sure. Sun also sometimes talks about celebrity, so there might be some celebrity headlines today too. It can be power struggle and dynamics too, right? Because we're talking about important people, like the ruler of the world leader. So who knows, maybe some news about their secrets is going to come out. Some power struggle dynamics information are coming out. It can be very revolutionary too, because of what is coming out. There might be some important movement on the collective level, news about them. On a personal level, it can be really looking within, shining a light on something that is hidden within us. Maybe this is something that you have been suppressing, you have been trying to hide it, shove aside. The Sun in Taurus is telling you that, hey, it's time to confront it, to face it, to let it out in the open. This might also be you revealing a secret to someone or vice versa. This is also about, doing some shadow work perhaps. And in these signs, this can relate to, your self-value. This can be about how you see the world, Pluto and Aquarius. This can be also a moment of empowerment, right? Standing up for what you believe in, standing up against an abusive situation or relationship, taking your power back, right? Pluto talks about power. It's about standing strong in your power and your truth and demand what you deserve as well. On the same day, another powerful transit is happening. We have Uranus officially entering Gemini for good. By that, I mean because Uranus was in Gemini for a few months last year, from July to November, for a few months. So for us, we have like 4 months of preview of Uranus in Gemini. But now, today, April 25th, 5:51 p.m. Pacific time, or April 26th, 8:51 a.m. Hong Kong time, Uranus is going to officially enter Gemini for good. It will never retrograde and dip back into Taurus. It's just going to stay in Uranus for the long haul, and all the way up to May 2033. A long time, I know, almost 9 years. Yeah, it's going to be a long transit. Wait, 9? No, 7, sorry. Yeah, it's going to be a long 7-ish year. So we are officially tapping in this energy. For real. Uranus is that lightning, electricity energy. It's the planet that talks about revelation, innovation, illumination, right? Inspiration. It activates our mind, that electricity to our mind, that eureka moments, right? Gemini is also very mental energy. It's a mutable air sign ruled by Mercury. So it's also very mental in some way, right? Not crazy, but it's about mental stimulation. It talks about the way we, exchange information. It talks about communication, education, learning and teaching, transportation, commerce, things like that. So having Uranus in Gemini is definitely going to shake things up in all those topics I've just mentioned. Is going to come in like waves of light bulbs, right? For better or worse, right? Energy go both ways. We'll just have to find out as we settle into this transit and as we continue to travel through this transit. It's a generational planet. That's why it's in one sign for multiple years. And that is why sometimes, yes, when it enters, definitely, we already see some of this energy manifesting around the world, this past week or so. But we're definitely seeing it this week for sure. We're definitely feeling its present this week, next week, very potently, right? During Uranus and Gemini transit, there's definitely going to be major breakthrough and acceleration in technology, in media, in communications, the way we exchange information, the way information are being transferred and exchanged, since I talk about Gemini related to educational system, there's probably going to be some changes and shift in that. And one thing that is very prominent right now, AI, artificial intelligence. And I know I am only speaking for myself. I might sound like I'm going off on a tangent, but I am very against AI. I don't like it. I understand that, it is very revolutionary in some area, especially when it comes to the medical field, when it comes to, trying to invent or come up with new technology that can truly help the medical field and cures maybe some of the diseases, giving us some really good tools when it comes to maybe certain illness or surgery or whatnot. And I love those for us, but there's just way too many cons when it comes to AI. I just see way more problem than solution. And I hate that. Hate is a strong word, I know, but I do not like that this is being available for everyone, and only a few people out of the 10 billion people is making some very important invention decision without the rest of the world's consent. Like, did we ever say we want it? Did we read the fine? We're not given the choice to choose whether we want it or not. We are not given the choice of having a chance to read the fine print before they decide to just lay it on us. And now so many of us are affected by it, for better or worse, right? And I'm very passionate about not using it for so many reasons, right? Because of how it is really giving us brain rot. Like, the youngest generation are the ones using it, but they are also one of the most anxious, the loneliest generation, and they have so much more anxiety and depression than us. They are suffering from it. So many lost their life, you know, so many teenagers, children, and also adults lose their life, commit suicide because of those artificial relationship and connection. And it's really, really sad. And I can go on and on how it's damaging our ecosystem, our freshwater reserve. I mean, UN already declared freshwater bankruptcy, global water bankruptcy, right? Because fresh water is needed to cool down those heat from data center, and they are fighting water with us. And with more people using AI, with more AI around, we actually will kill ourselves. We extinguishing ourselves with using AI, because we will have drought, we will have water deficit, we will not have water to drink. I mean, there are places around the world that are already suffering from AI, from data center, from the air pollutants as well, from the microplastic that it is releasing as well. So I know I'm going off a tangent right now, but if you are still listening up to this point, I love you. And I know you care about it too. That means you align with my values, and it is up to us to decide. We're not hopeless. We're not powerless. We can do something about it. There's enough of us to cause changes. And I hope that this Uranus and Gemini transit is also going to wake us up and help us to shift the needle to a world that is eventually better for us all, not just those few people in this planet. Because ultimately, Uranus is the planet that talks about change. It talks about, you know, changes through radical invention, innovation, revolution. It is going to change the way we communicate, we socialize, we think, we see things. And the world is experiencing this transit. So are we. So as the world is experiencing this transit, changing, and can we also change as well, right? The world is going to change and revolutionize through this transit. So how are you then to also change and revolutionize and align with? Who are you going to align yourself with? I personally right now is not residing in US, but I need to talk about the US for a second with this transit too, because every country has a birth chart, right? US has a birth chart. 250 years ago, when it decided to invade the Turtle Island and call itself the United States of America, it has a birth chart. And that birth chart, natally, US have Uranus in Gemini. So this Uranus in Gemini is US Uranus return, right? Because Uranus is coming back to where US have on its birth chart, right? Just like Saturn return, US is going through a Uranus return as of today, when Uranus stepped into the sign of Gemini. And ever since the US is here, every 84 years, roughly, whenever we have Uranus in Gemini, when US is having its Uranus return, US is always involved in some sort of wars. It already is right now. And it started with, of course, its own wars, right? The American Revolution. And then we have the Civil War, we have World War I and II. All of them took place when Uranus was in Gemini, when US participated in wars. Even now, US is in war. And we also have Uranus in Gemini the past year. Now that Uranus is officially in and staying in Gemini, we are unfortunately going to see more of that. Will the wars escalate? Sadly, I will say, yeah, probably. But this coming few years is definitely pivotal, because unfortunately what that little orange man decide to do will ripple out and affect all of us. And guess what? This little orange man is born under a Uranus in Gemini as well. He has a Gemini sun that is conjuncting the North Node and Uranus. Yes, he is born under an eclipse. He's an eclipse baby. He's born under the Sagittarius total lunar eclipse. So natally, in his natal chart, he has the Sun, North Node, Uranus all together in Gemini, conjuncting each other. And then, of course, they have the Sag, Moon and South Node. He is also a Leo rising, and he has Mars and Leo conjuncting his rising sign. That explains his personality, his shadow side, which is very unstable, erratic, quick to change, unpredictable. I mean, his chart is right in your face. Like, he embodies all those energy. I gotta give him props to that. He is just like exuding and expressing his chart's energy to the fullest. Not in the best possible way, but that's how he is using that chart energy. Apart from judging him, if I'm just looking at his chart, he is playing his soul, the energy that his soul signed up for in the best way. He played his role so well. That is why we need to know our roles too. We need to know what our soul decide to sign up to embody this lifetime. Looking at our chart, we all have a mission, a purpose this lifetime. Are we playing our roles well? We all should, because he is. So in your personal life, look at your natal chart. Which house is ruled by Gemini? Uranus has been shaking things upside down, left and right, perhaps changing and shifting, revolutionizing your Taurus house the past 8 years since 2018. Now today, April 25th, officially Uranus is entering your Gemini house and is going to shake things up, move things around, maybe turn things upside down, left and right for you in that Gemini house. What are the themes, topics, area of life is your Gemini house about? Ultimately, Uranus seek revolution, seek freedom and liberation, right? So what does that feels and looks like for you in that house, right? Look at the house. What is it about? And what does freedom, liberation, and revolution looks like for you in those themes and topics, areas of your life? That will give you some more clue as to what is changing for you in the next 7-8 years with Uranus and Gemini. I also offer a Uranus and Gemini workshop that will specifically talk about your own transit, your own Uranus and Gemini transit. We'll break it down step by step, what you are working with, what can you expect to change and shift, how can you work with this energy to benefit yourself and your life, and what are the remedies that you can use to mediate some sudden changes that might show up in your chart. Are there any important dates that you need to look at? Is this transit also aspecting something else in your natal chart? Because remember, we all have a different natal chart. It might be aspecting different planet or house in your natal chart that create some of your own human experience and story that you need to look out for. So if you are interested, I'm going to have my email in the description box. Just send me an email, contact me over there. You can sign up for it. Check out the communication board. I posted that workshop before. Maybe I'll repost it so that you can take a look at it. I remember doing a Uranus in Gemini video previously last year when we have Uranus dipping into Gemini. So if I have that, I'll also link that video in the description box for you to check out as well. Lastly, on the 26th, we have Venus in Gemini, sextile Neptune in Aries at 3 degrees. I love this to end the week. I mean, we have a super chaotic and a very highly activated week. So this is a lovely aspect to just tune yourself out a little bit today with Venus and Neptune. It is a dreamy, lovely day to just prioritize rest if you can, to dream a little, to escape a little. Maybe you want to just sleep in a little bit, dream a little bit, relax, lay in the grass, stare at the sun, stare at the sky, binge watch a little bit, indulge a little bit, whatever floats your boat. This is a great day to plan a romantic date or outing if you are coupling up, or this is a great lovely day to catch up with your friends, your bestie, to hang out, do something that you both enjoy, maybe to watch a movie, maybe it's a movie date, right? Maybe this is a home movie day where you just like relax in your PJ, have your favorite snacks, and just enjoy a movie or binge watch a show, right? This is a cozy day to just relax. This can also be a very creative, artistic, and inspirational day with Venus in Gemini and Neptune, because Venus in Gemini is very mental as well, right? So this can be you're feeling inspiration today, you want to do some painting, writing, acting, music, story, poems, whatever it is, right? If this is a day for those people who are very creative as well, right? So this is a dreamy day to do that as well. Today we also have another aspect. We have Mercury in Aries square Jupiter in Cancer at 18 degrees. So this can be a loud day as well for some, because remember, some of us can be feeling one aspect more than the other. So Mercury square Jupiter can be a big news day for some. Maybe you are announcing something, debuting something today in your social media or in your work or whatsoever. You have a big news to announce. Maybe this is a day of, because Jupiter is magnifying that mercurial energy, right? So for some, maybe this is you speaking out for yourself, standing out for a cause, you know, speaking out for something you believe in that you want to fight for. And with Jupiter in Cancer, for some, very, very small percentage of people, maybe this is you are very passionate about domestic violence, you want to stand up for it, you know, it is a cause that you support, or maybe this is unfortunately happening in your life or in someone's close to you, and you are speaking out for them, right? Standing up for them, standing up for an abusive situation, right? But also Mercury square Jupiter with Aries in the mix. This can also be a loudmouth energy on the shadow side. So watch out for what you're saying. It might be for some people, not all, for some people, this might be words slipping out of your mouth when you don't want to. So be mindful with that energy. And echo back to the Monday energy. Monday, when we have on April 20th, when we have Mercury conjuncting Saturn and Mars, that is like the very hard aspect, right? I said that there might be some of us going through some hard time, need to have a hard conversation, decision, or whatsoever. But today, by the end of the week, perhaps you will be able to see why that happened today with Venus squaring Jupiter in Cancer. You might be like, oh, the beginning of the week was hard. I need to make some hard decision, tough call, tough conversation. But now by the end of the week, I see the result. I see why I have to do that. I see why we need to go through that. So this can be an echo back to what happened in the beginning of the week as well. So a lot is happening this week, I know. So take care. Now that you have the heads up, you know how to navigate through this week. Come back and let me know if it's useful, how you feel those energy, how they happen for you. And if I can be in service of any consultation, feel free to contact me. I offer all kind of astrology consultation, tarot reading, akashic records reading, distant reiki energy healing sessions. So if I can be in your assistant, you want to know more about it, feel free to send me an email. In the meantime, I am sending you lots of love, and I'll see you next time. Bye.